When Belisarius skills was first released a few weeks ago, I made a video and my first impressions wasn't that good. I wasn't totally satisfied with the commander. However, this doesn't mean that this commander is totally useless and no one should invest on him. He actually does a few things really good and he's going to be a great investment if you are looking specifically for those things. Today, first we are going to discuss what are those. Then I'm going to give you a complete flowchart that is going to guide you about investing or not investing on Belisarius. And last but not least, we are going to discuss the only scenario, the only pairing configuration that you want to use your Belisarius. Without further ado, let's go.
Spartan! What is your profession?
Alright, just from looking at his skills, we know that Belisarius is really good at two things. Number one is speed. He is extremely fast. He is, I think, the fastest commander in the game, especially on top of his regular 20% cavalry movement speed. When you exit combat, you get extra 60% more march speed, which is insane, and I'm pretty sure that makes him the fastest commander in the game. Now, this is good for two things, actually three. Number one is you can get away pretty easily. Number two, he's going to be really good as an arc carrier in Arc of Osiris, which is very important for some people actually, not everybody of course. It is a niche role, but still, I think he is the best at that role. And also, if you pair your Belisarius Prime with a commander that does slow movement speed reduction, then this means you can catch, that much can be very sticky, you can catch your enemies, and with the slow commander you can slow the enemy down so that your other marches can catch up and you can finish the kill. So that is one of his main strengths. And the second one, of course, he does have really decent debuffs. Number one, from his first skill, target loses a certain amount of rage per second, and if it's surrounded, you are going to inflict Deception debuff, which is going to make their active skill require 100 more rage. And on top of that, from his expertise, based on the number of troops that is surrounding the target, you are going to deal either 6, 9 or 12% more damage, which is really good. There's actually a very clear hint that Belisarius, and you're going to see it in the flowchart, has to be one of your later investments. If you already have other marches, yes, you can consider Belisarius, because from the first skill, there is a condition if the target is surrounded. The expertise, if target is surrounded 3, 4 or 5 marches. So technically, if you already have 3 marches plus your Belisarius march, then you will immediately get that 4 troops, 9% more damage, which is very strong. Now let's move on to the flowchart and see if you should consider investing on Belisarius or not. The first question that you need to be asking to yourself is, do you already have 1 cavalry march? If the answer is no, go ahead and get yourself a Nevsky John. Much better investment in my opinion, at least much more versatile. Maybe Belisarius is better at things that he does the best, but in general, for majority of the player base, Nevsky John is way better. If you already have 1 cavalry march, is it Nevsky John? If the answer is no, again, get Nevsky John. If the answer is yes, do you have the best march from other 2 troop types? If you don't have a plan to become a purist for a specific troop type, then ideally what you want to have is the best march from all 3 troop types. And sieges, I'm sorry, but I'm getting into sieges after that video. If you didn't watch it, the interview with Mr. Siege, definitely go ahead and check it out. And I might actually invest on a siege march on my restart account. We will discuss it in the restart account update video. Now, do you have the best march from other 2 troop types? If the answer is no, at this moment, you should get yourself a Scipio Luce and Zhuge Herman. Now, you already have Joan of Arc and Nevsky, and if you also get the best march from other 2 troop types, at this moment it is Scipio Luce, Zhuge Liang, and Herman. Then we're going to move on to the yes section. Now your answer is going to be yes. Next question that you should be asking, do you have Huo William? If the answer is yes, you are going to skip Belisarius if you are not a Vale. Because if you're a Vale, that expertise is going to help you a lot, especially when you are swarming structures, because most likely you're going to have 7 marches, so you're going to get the full benefit from that expertise, and definitely he's going to be very strong for that swarming purposes. But if you're not a Vale, don't swarm structures, like that is really bad. Now, if you don't have Huo William, the question is, do you prefer being more helpful for everybody else or getting more kills? If your answer is kills, then you should invest Ho Chubing and William. Because let's be honest, even though the problem with Ho Chubing is this, he unfortunately doesn't have any debuffs or buffs. So he is a very selfish march. Like, you could consider that he is like Atıl Takeda. He gets a lot of kills, even though Atıl Takeda does have a debuff. It is still a very selfish march. Like, it is a kill point focused march. And Ho Chubing is also not very different. He does have a lot of damage, but that's it. You're going to get more kills with Ho Chu Bing, but as I said, no debuffs, just raw damage. But if your answer is being more helpful, becoming a team player, then you want to invest on Belisarius. Remember, in here, you don't already have Ho William, because if you do, you skip it. You don't have it, you are going to invest on a second cavalry march. William is going to be in the equation anyways, so you need to get your William to 5551. Like, he is a great commander because he is still very relevant, definitely included in the top 2 marches for cavalry, and also he works really well with 390 sculpture investment, so William is still like such a great investment, man, amazing. In that case, you're going to invest on Belisarius instead of Huo, so that you can be like, both commanders are single target. Huo deals more damage, Beli does have rage reduction, he also does have really good debuff if you already have other marches, and in this case, you do already have other marches, because you answered this question, do you have the best march from other 2 troop types? Yes. So this means you already have 3 marches, 1 cavalry, 1 archer, 1 infantry, and on top of that, as your 4th march at least, you're going to invest on Belisarius and William so you can actually benefit from his expertise. Now this is a chart in my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree or disagree, or maybe you want to change some sections. But this is my flow chart that I created for a roadmap on investing Belisarius. Now, in the end, if you decided to invest on Belisarius, you ended up here. You don't have Ho Chu Bing, you have a William, and you want to be more helpful for your team. You want to have a commander with debuffs instead of full raw damage like Ho Chu Bing. Now there is only, I think, one configuration when it comes to pairings that you can use, and it's going to be splitting your Nevsky John. Nevsky John is the best cavalry march in the game, but if you go up to 2 marches, then most likely you're going to split it. And the main reason why you have to split it is because Belisarius has cavalry, versatility, and mobility talent trees. This means, unfortunately for field fighting, this commander cannot be a primary. And our 4th cavalry commander is William, and this time he does have cavalry versatility attack, but in my opinion for your cavalry marches, you definitely want to either have that skill or support talent tree, because it's all about your active skill. And attack, I don't like it for your regular skill damage cavalry marches, so William also cannot be your primary, and in that case, in my opinion, you should pair your Alexander Nevsky with a William secondary. So your first march is going to be Nevsky and William, and your second march will be Joan of Arc primary, because now we do have that support tree that can boost, that can enhance our active skill, I mean the rage. So Joan of Arc primary and Belisarius prime secondary is going to be your second cavalry march. The reason that I think that this is the only configuration is because when you go up to 3 marches, then you will have to use something like Justinian, right? I'm not saying that Justinian is like really bad. He does have cavalry support, like okay skills, but Justinian is like a stat stick, right? He does have a lot of raw stats, but he doesn't offer much more than that. The other option could be X5, because with the Belisarius active skill rage reduction, you definitely want to cast your active skill first, and with an X5 primary, you can certainly do it. However, XY is unfortunately, like, he fell off pretty bad. Pretty much no one uses him anymore. I don't want you to invest on an outdated commander just to have your 3rd cavalry march with Belisarius. As I said, the only configuration, in my opinion, can be Nevsky John. Once you are done with that march and it's the time to invest on your 2nd cavalry march, you're going to split your Nevsky John. You will go Nevsky William and John primary and Belisarius prime secondary. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section down below if you plan to invest on Belisarius or not. And here you can see the interview that I did with Mr. Siege. I think it's a very valuable video. Make sure to check it out. I see you on that one. Goodbye.